Hey everybody, this is Matt and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching. So in my hands today, I have some really nice flame maple. These two pieces are a book match top, and these could be really, really cool one day. However, they're a little bendy, warpy. They're not twisty, but they're not flat either. And I've actually had these in my my press for many months now, and nothing's happening. So I'm going to wet these down, and I'm going to sandwich them in between some pieces of melamine, and we're going to put this in the squeezy press, and we're going to let them sit for a while. So I'm going to show you guys what I do here, and we're going to come back in a couple of weeks and have a look, maybe a couple of days, I don't know. I will probably look a little different. At the very least, I should have a different shirt on. Of course, if this doesn't work, then I'm not going to show you any of it. But maybe I will. Anyway, so we're going to just put some water on these boards, and we're gonna see if we can press them down and hold them nice and get them nice and flat, so that we can book match these together and make a really excellent top. So I'm gonna go and run these under the sink, and then I'm gonna come back and squeeze them in the press, and you'll get to see all of that. I'm not going to take you to the bathroom, but you'll get to see me squeeze them out, and I think this will be really cool. So in the next scene, it's going to be me putting the screws to this guy in the pneumatic press. Well, you can tell when the water hits this stuff how nice this wood is and why I want to save it. So I've got 3 sheets of this melamine, and I'm going to sandwich them all in between each other on the press. And then I'm going to squeeze the life out of it. And what that ought to do is loosen the wood up a little bit. All right, so we got a good squeeze going on these guys here. And everything looks really flat now. So hopefully, in a few days, when everything dries out, these guys will be dead flat, and we'll be able to glue them together for a really excellent top. Now, the theory behind this isn't as absurd as the practice looks. This is exactly the same way that you would take and bend sides for an acoustic guitar. You would introduce some moisture, and of course you would introduce heat. I don't have the luxury of heating this up, but if I did, this process would be really, really fast. Because what would happen is all the moisture would be heated out of the lumber, and almost, well, it would probably be gone by now, given that I didn't put a whole lot of water on here. But the idea is that we're going to we're gonna soften these up with a little water, and put them in the press here, get everything dead flat, and hopefully we'll have some really nice wood for a really nice top, maybe your top. So we're going to let this sit, like I said, at least for a few days, probably longer. And when we get back, I'll show you guys what it looks like, and see if you want to do this technique too. I tell you what, this hydraulic bottle jack and bearing press rig, we use this an awful lot, and this is just one of the many things that you can do with it.
Well guys, I told you that I'd at least have a different shirt on, and I'm pretty sure that I do. As you can see in my bearing press here, I've got a slightly different version of what we had when you saw it just a moment ago, but it's been a couple of weeks for me. I don't remember exactly how long, because we had some holidays in there and they fell right in the middle of the week, and it just kind of got a little confusing. But let's talk about what I have going on here. In the previous section of the video that you just saw, but like I said, it's been a couple of weeks, I had the boards were pressed in between pieces of melamine differently than they are now. I basically had a piece of the this board, and then my top, and then another piece of the melamine, and then my other part of the top, and then another piece of melamine, and I smushed it all down with this. What I was thinking about after I did that was there's really no way for the moisture to escape the middle of those boards. So it might be a little while before this actually dried out and looked how I wanted it to look. So what I did, as you can see here, is I cut a bunch of like 1-inch wide slats that will go, they go all the way from, well, I'll show you here in just a second. But basically, it's a way to let air flow all the way around my sections of top, my book match top here. But I still have this thing tighter than Dick's hat band. It's squeezed and squeezed and squeezed, and hopefully that's going to yield a satisfactorily flat top that I can send through my jointer and then glue up and make into a top. Now, a couple of you guys have said in a different video where I said I was going to make this video, you should probably just go ahead and firewood that, because it's never going to be right. It's going to keep twisting, and they might be right. But I think that this is going to work just fine. You know, if you can bend wood with to make like an acoustic guitar, you can certainly flatten wood using this same technique. But I also understand that if you're talking about anything structural, if the wood has a tendency to relax in a twisty, warpy way, you might not want to use that. However, this book match top did come from my buddies Dan and Calvin at Tonewood Experts. I know it was flat when they resawed the lumber, because if it wasn't, they wouldn't have done it. It just kind of got cattywampus. So we're going to see. The other thing is, I think this is going to eventually become an icon top. The icon tops are 90 thousandths thick. I think these right now are maybe a little over 1/4 of an inch. So at the most, this is only going to be 1/4 of an inch thick. So no matter what, it's going to be a veneer. It's just going to be thicker than, like that 20 thousandths kind of paper veneer. But I think that if you do this correctly, if you can get it to glue up once, I think you'll be okay. The other thing that you could attempt to do, you could glue these pieces onto, say, like a mahogany piece of 8/4 mahogany. Glue them onto that, then join them, then glue that together. That would be another way you could go to. But I think this is going to work just fine. I was talking to my buddy Jeff at Jewett Guitars and Transtint. When he's doing acoustic sides, he actually uses a little bitty bit of Windex. And I kind of spaced that out. He said you got to use the original stuff with the ammonia in it. I'm not going to squirt this with Windex, but I think if you did a little bit and then put it in the press, you might want to try this. I don't know if it's going to work, but like I say, Jeff uses this when he does side bending to keep everything kind of locked in, if you will. This might, and again, don't take my word for it. If you want, call Jeff and ask him. This might be something that you could do. But I think it's time to pull this out of the press and see what our book match top is going to look like. All right, let's go ahead and loosen up the press here and have a look at what what our result was. Okay. Well, that guy there looks reasonably straight. And that guy there looks reasonably straight and flat. I think that letting the wood kind of breathe a little bit with these these slats here wasn't the worst idea. All right, well, you've seen me join book matches before, and you've seen me glue stuff up, but here's that same top that was basically unusable, now all set up in my my book matching jig that I got from my good buddy Steve at Maximum Guitar Works. What I want you to see is, and of course I put these clamps on here whether it's dead flat or not, but you can see I've got a little bit of a bow in the middle here, okay? But don't worry, Steve's beam, I have to do this one-handed and not watching the camera. Steve's beam covers up the actual glue joint and presses down on the top. Oh, I'm also doing it left-handed. As you can see now, it's going to be just fine after we pull it out of clamps and thickness it. I think that's going to work great, you guys. Of course, I'll keep you posted, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. You know, how you would have done it, if you think it's going to work, etc., etc. But I want you to know something. As soon as it comes out of the book matching glue up jig, just like all these tops did here, I'm going to store it in the same press to keep these from starting to cup or get a little wonky. So I'm actually going to, and if any of you guys have been to the shop, you know this, I keep all my tops in this rig so that they just stay nicer. Okay. And I don't put the death grip on them, because what you definitely don't want is to like, that's enough right there. Just snug it down. You definitely don't want to tighten it so much that if they are starting to move a little bit, that you crack that glue joint. You just want to keep them nice and flat, okay? So that's what we did. I realize that this probably isn't the most riveting topic to discuss, you know, how to take a piece of wood that looks to be unusable and put it back into working condition. But that top was really nice, and I think that's going to be a really neat guitar when it's all said and done. Remember, I think it's going to go, I think it's going to be an icon top. Our icon tops are basically acoustic tops, so right around 90 thousandths. Of course, acoustic tops generally are vertical grain spruce or cedar or something, so that's maple, but our icon is a slightly different instrument. Guys, if you like this kind of thing, I encourage you to go over to our Patreon page, and or even to join up on YouTube, because I am starting in 2025 to do a bunch of what I call Patreon training, and that is a way for people who can't make it out to actual workshops here at my shop to get training from Texas Toast Guitars and learn all about a lot of the stuff that we do. So in 2025, there's going to be a bunch of those. There's already one starting right now, and it is the this neck through build that I'm working on. I'm really excited about it, and I think that you guys are going to like that stuff too. So if you've always wanted to come out and take a workshop from us, but you just can't get here, this is the next best thing. You can do it in your home shop, and you can do it on your own time. So win-win, right? Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video, and thanks for hanging out with us. We look forward to doing more good stuff like this in the future. And until next time, this is your old Uncle Matt reminding you that if you're so smart, why don't you start your own YouTube channel instead of just leaving snarky comments on mine? See you next time, guys. Have a great week.